Hello everyone, today we're going to be discussing housing and how to go about your new living situation. Today we're going to be exploring Laker Village, which would encompass a lot of the same stuff that you're going to find in your units. And today we're going to be going over the basic stuff. So first thing, you're going to have your own key, which is very important, so please don't lose it. You're only going to have one set, and if you lose it, you're going to have to pay a fee to fix that. So you just go right ahead and open the apartment. So remember that one of the things that you need to be vigilant about is that when you're cooking, you have to turn on the fan as well as the light, just to make sure that you have good ventilation, because a lot of times we found that in the past, students, whenever they're cooking, they don't mean to, but the smoke starts to accumulate and the fire alarm can go off, which means that all of the students in the unit, if not the building, have to leave the apartment. That can be very inconvenient, because in the past we've had people leave the unit at 3 in the morning, which is the least time that you want to get out of bed, right? Especially when you have tests or assignments due in the morning. So make sure that you are careful in that regard. So remember that your sink doesn't have a water filter, but actually for you to drink water, you can actually just use water tap because it's all filtered. So you can just fill it up and drink it right away. So remember that you're all gonna have a thermostat within your building if you live in South Campus. North Campus does not have one, so be aware of that. But if you do have one, you have the option to have cooling or heating on. During the fall, you usually want to keep the cooling on since it's going to be warmer outside, and during the winter you're going to be required to have the heat system on. You can simply change the temperature by shifting this up or down for the temperature. In this case, this has low battery, but you can also change the fan to on or automatic depending on what the temperature of the unit is. And also you can change it from cooling to heat by simply switching this dial. And that can be different from different units and depending on where you live on campus, but the general idea is the same. And if you have any questions, feel free to ask your RA. They will have more answers for you. An RA is a resident assistant, which is essentially a peer, so a student on campus, which is also a staff part of housing. So I'm an RA and we live in different communities throughout campus, and we're here to serve you and help you make the best experience that you possibly can have at Grand Valley. So we are resources for you to come to us in case that you have any questions, for you to talk to us in case that something's going on within your unit that doesn't make you feel comfortable. Any of those things, you can come to us and we can address those situations and reach to housing for better resources to better help your experience at Grand Valley. We know that a lot of you are not at Grand Valley for a very long time, so we want to make sure that you have the best experience possible. So roommate agreements is something that you will fill out along with your roommates when you first move into the unit. That will allow for your RA to be able to revisit this quote-unquote contract in case that something were to happen throughout the semester or the year between you and your roommates. That way, say you and your roommate decide that from 5 p.m. to 8 p.m. is study time, so neither of you have to make noise. That's something that will be addressed at the beginning of the year, so that if for whatever reason any of the roommates or any of the parties decides to not comply with that contract, that can be visited when the RA has to come in, and we can have some type of conversation about that. When you first move in, you're going to have to fill out a room condition report for housing, which essentially you will state any damages that are within the unit before you move in, so that we know not to charge you at the end of the year when you move out. So also make sure that you have all the furniture that you need. So each student should have a bed, a railing, a desk and a set of drawers. And you'll see that as you're moving in. But as you notice here, there are no chairs. So you want to make sure that in this case, you would address, hey, there are no chairs, and we'll have someone from facility come and drop those off. And you can also address work orders, but you'll find some more information about that in a later video. Moving forward, we're gonna go into into the bathroom, which includes two sinks, space and furniture, lights, and a vanity, and including a bathroom, a toilet, and a shower. So once you get to the shower, most of them look exactly the same. You can simply turn it on for cold water, and the further you turn it on higher, it's going to become hotter. So once you turn it on, you have to pull this tab in order to get the water to come out of the shower. So that's pretty much how you maneuver this shower. The other room in general works about the same, but you'll also have storage here, and same situation for all of them. So remember that laundry is not the only thing that you have to take care of. Trash is also something that you're going to have to take care of on your own. It is your responsibility to take your trash and recyclables to their designed locations, and depending on where you're living on campus, you will have different locations throughout your community. For example, Laker Village might have a dumping site as well as recyclers, and then those will be taken care of by facilities and campus. But besides that, you have to take care of that and laundry as well. Hey, so when you want to do laundry, remember that you're all going to get a laundry car that has 90 loads within it. Each of them you're going to be able to use for both washing and drying, and depending on the sets that you decide to use, you're going to be charged differently. Sometimes you're going to be charged $1, sometimes $1.25. So be aware of that and make sure that you are being aware of how many loads you're using. I think that's it.
Cut.